Come on. Hello, at last. Sorry, folks. I have no idea what went crazy, gremlins or something tonight, just because I was, I don't know, trying to be organised. It doesn't work, does it? Anyway, welcome, everyone. And Narelle, in tomorrow, I hope you are staying warm. It is freezing cold here, although not as cold as it has been. Let me just pop that down, darling, out of the way. There we go, folks, so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. So, a dinner party for 6 for under $20, and my actual meal plan that I came up with comes in at $10.94, and that's three courses. Make it add another $4 if you add, or $5 if you add the sweets or something to have with coffee after dinner. So there you go. I didn't include drinks in the cost of this. This is just the food, and it can all be done ahead, and it only takes an hour from start to finish, and we're going to do the whole lot tonight. So, and even with me fiddle paddling around and showing you how I do things, it'll still only be done in around an hour. So it's pretty simple, because my policy, I guess, is keep it simple so that I can relax and my guests can relax, and then we just all enjoy each other. I love having people for meals. I really enjoy it. It's one of the things that we've always enjoyed and done. Even when we had no money, we still managed to, excuse me, got the hiccups again. I get so nervous doing this. Even when we had no money, we still managed to have dinner parties or barbecues or something with friends and relatives often. So let's get started, because there's a few things to do. The first thing I'm going to do is tell you what we're having. So I'm making pumpkin soup. This is my version of pumpkin soup. Then we're going to do a mushroom stroganoff, a baked mushroom stroganoff, and Hannah's famous chocolate self-saucing pudding. So to get started, I'm going to put the noodles for the stroganoff in the pot. I've done that. I'll give them a stir because I don't want them to clump. And I'll pop the lid on it. They only take a few minutes to cook. Now, I actually prefer this particular stroganoff over rice, but the original recipe is over noodles, and it says egg noodles, but I don't have egg noodles, and I wasn't going to run out and buy them because you use what you have. So I am just using thick spaghetti, which will do the same job. While pasta's cooking, we'll brown the mince, and I've got 500 grams of mince in the pan. I'm just going to brown it up, squash it down and brown it up. Because this isn't a traditional stroganoff. It's quick, it's really easy, it's inexpensive, but it tastes really good and it looks nice on the plate. So, and as I said, it's one of the ones you can do ahead. Now, this whole stroganoff that I'm going to do tonight costs $6.90 for all the ingredients to make this dish. Now, it may cost more, it may cost less, depending on where you shop and how you buy your ingredients, but it's pretty simple. So we'll brown up that meat. Check those noodles. Now they're back to the boil. I'll take the lid off and give them another stir. And I'm doing them in my double boiler because I'm going to use the water from the pasta to cook the pumpkin soup. so that we're not wasting anything. And the starch that's in the water will help to thicken the soup and give it a bit of body. Okay, so this is just my regular beef mince I get from Australian Butcher in Baronia. I buy it when it's on sale for $6 a kilo or $5.99 a kilo. So half a kilo is $3. And we're browning it up. Now we also need mushrooms. I've got fresh mushrooms here that I sliced this afternoon. I'll bring them over so you can see them. Now I got the mushrooms from Pellegrino's for $3 a kilo. And I wish I'd bought more because I wasn't thinking. Could have put them in a dehydrator and dehydrated them. So that's 125 grams roughly of mushrooms sliced up. Here the meat sizzling. There we go. Okay. Mushrooms. Then we'll make a sauce for them, put them through the pasta, bung it in the dish, put it in the oven. Now you can do this ahead the day before if you want to, or the morning before, and put it in the fridge in the dish, covered in the dish, and it will be fine to reheat. Okay. Pasta going. I don't want to overcook it, but I don't want to undercook it. You can slightly undercook your noodles if you want to, because they will absorb some of the moisture out of the stroganoff sauce and cook a little more in the oven. So if you think they're a little al dente, that's fine. Okay, mince is nearly brown. Now, I didn't add any oil or anything to this pan. I just put the meat in and turned it on. So, and there's not much coming out of it actually. It's a bit disappointing. So I am just going to leave it as is. Normally I would drain it, but there's not much there, and I want a little bit of fat to cook the mushrooms down. Okay. So there we go. That's happening. Noodles are happening. It's all coming together, folks. Good. Okay, now where am I? Right thing. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to add them. I'm going to add the mushrooms to the frying pan with mince and let them cook down just a little bit before we add the sauce, make the sauce. It's because sometimes mushrooms, sometimes they cook down really quickly and sometimes they take a while. But I want them to be properly cooked. So there we go. Now that looked like a big pile that went in there, but don't forget they shrink. They cook down, so they do shrink. To break you up. Excuse my fingers, sorry folks. Oh, I love mushrooms. Okie dokie. While we're waiting for that to happen, we will get the sauce ready, which is sour cream, which I have right here. Sour cream, just good old Aldi sour cream, and it's the light one because that's what I buy. And water. Okay, I'm lost. Mince noodles, mushrooms. Okay, right. So I'm going to put 2 cups of water into the pan here. Get my trusty kettle. This will do. 2 cups of water into the pan. Mushrooms are starting to cook down. The noodles are starting to cook. Everything's starting to smell nice. Okay, 2 cups of water. Where's my measuring cup? 1, 2. I'll put that right here. Then I have another cup of water in my trusty shaker, and I am going to add 2 tablespoons of plain flour. 2 tablespoons of plain flour? Half a cup of plain flour. Don't listen to me, gosh. I'd lead you astray, wouldn't I? Half a cup of plain flour. Trusty half a cup. If you don't have a shaker, just put it in a glass. Always add the flour to the water, not the water to the flour, because otherwise it ends up with a big glue. Give it a shake, put the lid on. You can use a fork in a glass if you want to. Shake, shake, shake. Okay. Okay. I told you it's simple, it's nearly done. Okay, that, got the water over here cooking, everything's gonna thicken up. I'm going to add some stock powder. It says beef stock. I never buy beef stock, I never use beef stock powder or stock cubes. This is just the general gourmet vegeta that I buy in half price at Coles or Woolworths. It's about $2, and it's 2 teaspoons, isn't it? Yeah. So 1, just making sure I've got it right. 2, stir it in. If you don't have it, just season it well with salt, and I'll add some pepper in a moment, and that'll be fine too. You don't have to go out and buy stock powder or stock cubes just for this. Done. Okay. Basil. Basil. It's a half a teaspoon, so seriously. This is the crushed basil out of our garden from last year. It smells really good. Basil. And some pepper. So I've got my trusty pepper grinder. Few good grinds. I'll mix it in. Okay, everything's cooking down nicely. My cat is intrigued by a cat that's intrigued by my voice. Thanks, Alicia. Okay, now we've done. I'm just making sure I've got everything in. So I've done the mince stock, the pepper, the basil, the mushrooms, flour, water. Okay. Now I'm pouring in the flour and water mixture, and I'm stirring as I do it. It will thicken fairly quickly, and keep stirring because we don't want lumps. Now, there we go. And I will want some extra water, I think.
Don't forget about the cream.
The what?
Cream.
Yeah. I just want a little bit extra water. Okay. Turn that down. Always cold water too, otherwise it turns to glue and becomes.
Did you want to preheat the oven?
I wasn't actually going to bake it tonight because we're going to have this dinner tomorrow night. I was going to get it to the baking stage though. Okay. Just a little bit more. Okay, if you think your sauce is too thick, just add a little bit more cold water and stir. Okay, turn the heat off. Add your sour cream. Now, turn the heat off when you add your sour cream so it doesn't curdle. There's nothing worse. It'd still be all right to eat. It just looks dreadful. All right. Oh, I didn't chop any parsley. Oh, never mind. All right, stirring the sour cream. And by now the noodles are done. So I shall pop that there. Turn them off. I'm just going to go over to the sink to drain them. So I'm going to be a moment. Oh. They're draining quite well and they're nice and cooked. Should I get the casserole dish out? Yeah. I might need my big one actually. Right there. A casserole dish. I do need my big one. I'll be back in a moment. Big one. Right here. Okay. Back with my trusty dish. I'm going to give it a spray of cooking spray, especially in the corners. Okay. Pop it away for now. Before I do anything else now, I'm going to, now that's roughly 2 litres of water in that pot. So I'm just going to tip in carefully so I don't get burnt a pumpkin. And I'll save a few pieces to show you what I did for the pumpkin soup. Ouch. This would work better in the zip, wouldn't it? That's my big squeaky. My hands are clean. Put a few pieces there to show you. So in my pumpkin soup, I have pumpkin, I have onion, and I have a couple of potatoes. And like I said, the starch from the potatoes helps to thicken the soup and give it a bit of body so that it's not, there we go, and in it goes. Right. I should put that on to cook. Oh, thank you, Ross. And I might actually swap places. So this bigger burner. And where'd I put the lid? Here. Okay, that's done. With the pumpkin, I cut it into just chunks, small chunks. Now that's a whole pumpkin, but don't get excited. It was tiny. It was only 1.1 kilos. So it was a teeny tiny pumpkin that I got for 59 cents a kilo. On sale. I noticed pumpkin's been on sale all over the place lately, which is really good. I'm going to add the noodles. Sorry. But more organised would be right. I'm going to put the noodles into the stroganoff. Mix it up. Okay. Give them a stir around and mix them through the sauce. It would be better with a fork. Tongs. I can't use tongs. I don't know. I always make a mess when I do it with tongs there. It just doesn't seem to mix through. I know they say use tongs, but seriously.
I use with my carbonara.
Is it?
Yeah.
Smells good, doesn't it? Okay, we're stirring it through. Make sure we get the sauce through. Now I just greased the dish for no reason, but don't worry, we'll use it. I'll grease this one. It's one of my favourite baking dishes. It was an engagement present, so I've had it a very long time. Okay, now that's all mixed through.
Does this freeze well?
No.
Oh.
It has sour cream in it. It will separate when it thaws. It will go, it'll taste all right, but it'll look really ugly. Okay, into the dish. Oops. I'm doing everything khaki-handed here, you can tell. So it's normally over here. Okay. Right. Oh, I dropped the spoon in. Scraping the plant. Oh, look at that. I know, I'm a messy cook. Never mind. No, it doesn't freeze. It's got sour cream in it, and you've made a white sauce with the mushrooms. Okay. That's it, done. It goes into the oven now for half an hour or so. Not long, into a moderate oven.
30 minutes.
30 minutes in the oven. Cover it with foil so it doesn't burn on top. That's it, job's done. So that's done. Pumpkin's cooking. I'll leave that there. Pumpkin for the soup is on. The only other thing that I'm going to add to that is some stock powder. Is what? What were you add? No. Is some stock powder. And it'll just be 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I won't add salt because there will be salt in the stock powder, and if anyone thinks it needs to be salted when they're eating it, they can add their own. I think I've told you before I don't use salt when I'm cooking, so okay. There we go. When that comes to a boil, I'll turn it down. It'll cook for about 20 minutes, and then I just mash it. Pumpkin will be soft, the potato will be soft, the onion will be soft, and I just mash it with my potato masher until it's smooth. You could use a stick blender if you have one, and I do have one. I just couldn't bother getting it out. It's just another thing I've got to wash. So there you go. So 2 courses down, just dessert to do. Right. So how easy is that? Take you longer to set the table, iron the tablecloth, to get out the napkins than it will to do the cooking. So okay. So let's see, who's got a question? No questions? If you've got a question, if you can put it in capitals, that really helps us find them. Okay. Having a bad pain day, Hannah. Oh, sorry, Bob. Hope it gets better soon. Let me see. Gosh, we've got a lot of comments tonight. I'm a bit slow, aren't I?
Yeah.
Okay. So Barb's here, Freya's here, Kathy's here, Maureen's here. Hello, Maureen. Hello, Julie. Sarah, Diana, Lisa, Lorraine S, Amy, Leah, Narelle, Carla, Alicia, Rach, Mandy, Karen. Hello, Karen. Kath. Oh gosh, Chris. Oh, freezing cold in Colac. Yes, I expect it is. I heard Ballarat was the coldest place in the state yesterday. So Outback 6, beautiful. Suzanne, Jules, Rosalie, Glennis, Michelle, Christine. Oh goodness, Patricia. Okay. Curried sausages. I love curried sausages. I'm the only one that likes them. But that doesn't stop me making them. You'll see, come winter, they'll be on our meal plan quite a bit because they're easy. The cat demon. Oh my goodness. Yes, Barb, Hannah's here. She's over there. Sorry, I was trying to get everything organised and then nothing would work, and now now she's over there at me. What got a daughter. He'd have her. So yes, yeah, we're all here. Right. Scroll down. I was late to the party. What's the menu? Pumpkin soup, mushroom stroganoff, and chocolate self-saucing pudding. And then if you feel up to it, you could have some yum yum balls and coffee afterwards, although you're probably stuffed full with that. When I do the stroganoff, as I said, I prefer it over rice. It doesn't look as good over rice as it does on the pasta, but it tastes really good. But I don't serve anything else with it. You could do green beans or broccoli if you wanted something green with it. But if you're doing it for a dinner party, I would put it on the plate and just put some parsley over the top, just a sprinkle of parsley over the top. It doesn't need anything else. It's really tasty, really nice. And it's a dinner party. It's not like you're sitting down to a regular meat and veg type dinner. It's a dinner party, so you don't have to have greens all the time.
What flavour stock did you use?
It was 4 teaspoons I put into the pumpkin soup, Freya, and it's the Vegeta Gourmet stock. Just the, can you see? I just pick it up when it's on half price for $2 at Coles or Woolies. The tin lasts for ages because I don't use a lot of that, because we usually make our own chicken stock, but no stock in the freezer, so there we go. Glennis, I use the Vegeta stock powder to make a cup of soup. Yes, and it's nice. It's really good, and I like the Vegeta because it doesn't go hard in the tin. The Massel one, if you use Massel stock, goes hard in the tin. So maybe I should read the ingredients and see what the anti-caking agent is, but it doesn't go hard in the tin. That's why I like the Vegeta one. Vashti, it's $20 total, and it's actually under $20. But I was being kind with the price, the total, because not everyone can shop where I shop. Not everyone buys the brands I buy. So, yeah.
Let's get going with the pudding.
Let's get going with the pudding. Glennis, it would go hard from the humidity. Have you tried keeping it in the fridge or the freezer? Okay, the pudding. We should do the pudding. No? Do your pudding. Chocolate self-saucing pudding. When my kids were in high school, in year 7 and 8, they all had to do home ec. And it was half cooking, half sewing. None of them enjoyed the sewing component. All 3 of them didn't mind the cooking component. The first thing that Mrs. Allen had them do, had her year 7s make, was chocolate self-saucing pudding. And it has been a favourite ever since, hasn't it? Because it's easy, it's quick, it's inexpensive. And tonight I'm going to do it in the microwave. But you can do it in the oven if you want to.
The microwave's quicker.
The microwave is much quicker. But if you've got the oven on anyway for your stroganoff, then you may as well put it in the oven. Either way, the actual method of putting it together is exactly the same. It's just the baking of it that varies. So I cheat because I'm not a fan of dishes, not that you'd know by the amount I've used tonight. And if it's going into the microwave, I make it straight in the dish. I don't use a dish for this and a dish for that. It's too many dishes, and that's a bit of a pain. So you read me what I need.
1 cup self-raising flour.
Okay, 1 cup of self-raising flour. Give me a moment to get it. There's my cups. Put the kettle on. Yes, I do need to put the kettle on. Okay, 1 cup of self-raising flour.
2 tablespoons of cocoa.
Cocoa. 2 tablespoons of cocoa. Is it full? Yes. I didn't want it to flick everywhere. Okay, 2 tablespoons of cocoa. You can be a bit generous if you want to. Make it a bit more chocolatey if you want to. Okay, 2 tablespoons. And the recipe says sift it, whisk them together. whiskers are easier to clean than sifters. And most people would have a whisk these days, but I'm pretty sure not a lot of people would have a sifter anymore. Okay.
30 grams of butter.
30 grams of butter. Excuse me. I've done the sugar, haven't I?
No.
No, I haven't done sugar yet?
No.
Okay.
From the gun.
So, yeah, but I've got to put the butter, I'm going to melt the butter today.
Just as butter.
30 grams of butter. Okay. I use my trusty. Yep.
Got a mouthful.
I know.
You're looking at me like you want me to know what's next. I'm gonna put hot water.
And I've got to put the kettle on because we need hot water.
Three-quarter cup of sugar.
3/4 cup of sugar. And there's our soup come to the boil. So I'll turn that down. I want it to keep boiling, but I don't want it to boil over. 3/4 cup. Now that gets mixed with butter, doesn't it?
No.
Add it to the flour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mix well.
I've mixed well.
And then you need to mix half a cup of milk and 1 teaspoon of vanilla with the melted butter. That's where the melted is.
So I had vanilla somewhere. My trusty Moo vanilla. Teaspoon, did it say?
Yeah.
Half a cup of milk. I need your glasses. Okay, mix those together.
Yeah.
Then mix them into there.
Yep.
Okay, so we're mixing the melted butter, the milk, and the vanilla. And we're going to mix it into the flour, sugar, and cocoa.
I'll leave it.
Beat it in. It's thick. It's supposed to be thick. Dense. There you go. Dense is the word.
Sounds like a smart word.
Could be a smart word. You need the word of the day. Okay. There we go. All that chocolatey stuff gone, all that nice yumminess. Okay. Scraping down my sides and spreading it in the bottom. Is that right? Then, should I put the kettle on?
I don't know.
Okay, then we have to boil some water.
We need a 3/4 cup of brown sugar.
Yep, I've got 3/4 cup of brown sugar. Brown sugar.
1/4 cup of cocoa.
1/4 cup of cocoa. 1/4 cup of cocoa is, I think, 4 tablespoons, if I recall.
Use that though. And then 1 3/4 cups of hot water, but you mix that first before the top and then put it on.
Yes. Okay, so we've got the batter in the container, in the pan. I have brown sugar and cocoa in the bowl. This will make the sauce. that goes over the top, and then we nuke it. And I haven't made it in the new microwave yet, so we'll start with 5 minutes and see how it goes. Let me get rid of these. Start with 5 minutes, see how it goes, and if it needs a little bit longer, then we can give it 30 seconds, do it in 30-second bursts until it's cooked. But remember, the bottom is, because it's a self-saucing pudding, the cake will rise to the top, the sauce will be at the bottom, so the bottom of the cake will always be soggy. You just want the top to be dry, and in a microwave, often the middle will still be damp, so you just need to not cook it anymore, let it rest, and the heat from inside the pudding will dry that up. Does that make sense? Everyone understand what I'm saying? Hiding the... Right, so there we go, well under an hour, not even half an hour, is it? A bit over half an hour. Okay, pudding's done. Stroganoff would be in the oven warming. Now we're just waiting for the pumpkin and the veggies to cook in the soup. Yum yum. And it's all done. The water will help the sugar. My brown sugar is a bit hard.
You pour this over the top and then pour the water on top of it.
Oh, I usually mix it in.
No.
Oh, okay. Being told. I'll do a different way. Okay. My brown sugar's gone hard, so there's a couple of ways you can stop it from going hard. One is to keep it in the fridge in a container. Makes... Hey?
You want space?
There's space for your fork. Or another way is to put a slice of bread on the top of it in the canister in the cupboard. I don't do that because I'm always afraid I'm going to forget and bread will go mouldy. So because you have to change the bread out fairly often. So that one doesn't work for me, but keeping it in a container in the fridge does. But this time it was in the pantry for whatever reason. And so it's gone a bit hard. It does soften up pretty quickly. And if I was to put some bread in the container and leave it overnight, it would probably be soft. Now, the water, it just has to be hot, not boiling. And
You just sprinkle that over.
okay, well, I could use my fingers to make it not lumpy. Okay, so we've mixed the cocoa and brown sugar, or Hannah has done a wonderful job there of mixing the cocoa and brown sugar. So we'll just sprinkle it evenly over the top. So there you go, that's my evenly. Dump it on. And then we've got how much water?
1 3/4.
1 3/4 cups of boiling water. Where's my 1 cup? Is my 1 cup? Now, and there's my 3/4. If you pour it, I pour the water over the back of the spoon, it doesn't splash. Now I'm just going to scrape down the sides, and that can go into the microwave for 5 minutes on high, uncovered. Easy as. That's the cooking done pretty much. Just the cleaning up left. They're clean, they're clean, they're clean. They need to be washed, they need to be washed, they need to be washed, needs to be washed. That's clean, needs to be washed. So there you go. Really easy, and even with me talking, the only thing I did ahead of time was chop the pumpkin, but only because of mushrooms. Pardon?
And the mushrooms.
And the mushrooms. because, well, mushrooms don't take long to slice, but pumpkin can be a real pain to slice. So I took my time and did it this afternoon. That will need to be rinsed. And so as we wait for this soup to cook, it smells all right. And I am looking forward to pumpkin soup for the weekend. Stroganoff for tea tomorrow night's already done, and dessert's done too. So there you go. It cost $10.94 all up for the ingredients. We'll feed 6 people, easily feed 6 people. Possibly maybe 8. If you wouldn't get 8 out of the pudding unless you had lots of ice cream and cream with it. But you will get 6 serves out of the pudding. If you want to be really fancy with the pudding, you can divide it and put it into the little ramekins. Make up the same recipe, put it into the little ramekins, just divide it between the 6 of them, but bake those in the oven. They take about 15 minutes in the oven to do like that. Easy as. Simple. So what do we got? Measures, not volume measures for everything, that way you know. 1 cup of brown sugar is X grams, so whether it's hard or soft, it's the same. Measure weight quantity. Well, you can also hard or soft doesn't really matter. It's not going to change the weight of the sugar, but whether it's packed or not will change the weight of it. So a packed, if you've got a recipe that says packed brown sugar, that's when you put it into the measuring cup and you actually push it down, tap it down, and it should sink down a bit. You put more on, tap it down, keep tapping it down until it's level with the top. That's packed brown sugar, and it will weigh more than just a regular scoopy cup of brown sugar. So anything that's packed like that, gosh, that needs to be washed now, will be different to the cup measures. As long as you're consistent throughout, if you're using cups, stick with cups. If you're using weight, stick with weight, so that the ratios stay the same. Yes, Patricia, the cooked pudding will last in the fridge. Cover it in the fridge. I'll put the lid on the dish, and it will keep in the fridge till the next night. Except that if you've got fridge fairies, it might disappear. We tend to have fridge fairies that attack things. So unless I specifically say do not eat this, it can disappear. But it will keep. It will keep fine. Otherwise, just do the batter, cover it, put the batter in the fridge, and then make the sauce up and cook it the next night when you're ready to go. It only takes a few minutes. Now, if you're going to do it in the oven, in the conventional oven, preheat your oven to, Hannah's got it, 180 for the pudding. Moderate oven, 180. Yeah, moderate oven, about 180. Butter your dish. Put your batter in. Make your cocoa brown sugar over the top. Put the water over the top. Put it into your oven. It takes about 30 to 35 minutes.